Bambu Studio 2.5 just dropped, and once again, we're hit with that classic question. Does this actually change anything, or is just a new version number? In this video, we're going beyond the surface and we're looking at advanced updates, hidden experimental features, and some really impressive quality of life improvements. First things first, I don't want you to go crazy looking for settings that doesn't seem to exist. To see everything I'm going to show you today, you must enable developer mode. A lot of the most powerful new tools are currently hidden there, and I'll be labeling everything clearly so you know what you're going to use reliably right now and what is still in the experimental phase. This one is simple on paper, but incredibly powerful for finish quality. Bambu Studio now allows ironing on the support interface. This is fantastic. Basically, the top layer of the support, the part that actually touches your model, can now be ironed perfectly. It's going to be really smooth, so the contact is going to come right off. I ran a few tests to see where this actually matters. I printed a model with a lot of bridge as an example. In the first print, the bridges looked pretty rough. I printed again using this new ironing on interface option, and look at the difference. The finish is significantly cleaner. It's amazing. I really like this feature. And I also printed a standalone support test just to show you the interface itself. You can clearly see how much smoother that contact surface is. It's incredible. So it's going to come right off with lots of your prints. However, there is a catch. I tested this on a much more organic model, so not a flat piece, and the result didn't improve at all, unfortunately. We have tried it all, but with organic models, actually, it did not come as great because the contact areas were so small and it got some really inconsistencies that the ironing didn't have room to work. I saw the same thing with the zombie hand. And if the surface is flat, ironing is a game changer. And if there is an angle or organic curve, it makes also almost no difference. So I do not recommend, and it takes a lot of time. So it's just a waste of time. Pro tip, this works best when you're not using a dedicated support material like PETG, different support materials for the model and for the support. It's best if you use the support in the same material as the part. It's not magic, but the flat bottom print is a huge win. And it's fantastic. It's a feature that I look forward to using. The next feature is top and bottom without 100% infill. This is really nice. I have never seen this. This is an update for the designers and the aesthetic printers. Now your top and bottom surfaces don't have to be 100% solid anymore. You can actually apply visible infill patterns to the outer skin. So that can lead to using lots of textures. This is really nice to customize your pieces. This opens up a ton of room for visual effects and unique textures. I ran tests at 100% and 50% to show the contrast, and it creates a really striking look. This is amazing. For example, I printed this custom sign to make it stand out from traditional 3D printed lines. So using the grid, the standard line, I don't typically like to use, so I have used the Hilbert curves at a 80% density. It makes the pattern lines pop and gives the parts a much more intentional, manufactured feel. So it can customize and create a really nice textures on the surface. I don't think this is great for a structural or organic part, but for decor, covers, and visual details, it makes total sense. Standard colored 3MF support. This is a massive deal for anyone who does their own modeling. Bambu Studio can now import 3MF files with standard color information. So if you're going to model your stuff, you can color in Fusion 360, let's say, and then you can import it to Bambu Studio. I have tested this by making a simple nameplate in Fusion 360, and look, I'm no pro modeler, but this was just a quick test. I added colors to the letter in Fusion and exported it as a 3MF. And when I opened it up on Bambu Studio, boom! The slicer immediately recognized the color data. So it was a colored model that I have colored in the modeler. So this is going to be really nice for different products and different project. It worked perfectly, preserving the exact colors I assigned in the CAD software. This works with files from Fusion 360, Meshmixer, OpenSCAD, and different other softwares. The workflow is now as easy as an OBJ. So import, map your colors, and print. This is fantastic, and it even optimizes the colors if there are more than colors than the AMS can support. Current limitations though, right now it's only supports face colors and vertex colors. The textures aren't supported yet, unfortunately, but this is a huge step forward at professional multi-material workflow. Next feature, Mesh Subdivision. This is a really nice one. This feature is a lifesaver for saving low quality models. I have created a sphere in Fusion and intentionally exported at a very low resolution, so it looked super faceted and blocky. So usually you would have to re-export that, but now you can fix it in the slicer. This is really nice. So a sphere, lots of flat surfaces, you can just import it right now to the slicer and just click, choose Subdivision Mesh, and you can repeat the process until the model looks super smooth. So this is a really nice feature that I'm looking up to using, and the result is a smoother mesh, fewer visible facets, and a much better looking print. Two warnings here though: it won't work on broken or non-manifold meshes, and you will lose your painted colors. So make sure to subdivide before you start painting your model. So subdivide first, it's much better. The next one is a small quality of life tweak, but it's a super handy feature. There is now an option called Scale to Print Volume. It automatically scales your parts to the absolute maximum size the build plate allows while maintaining perfect proportions. So this is really nice. Get the biggest parts you can. If you're printing statues, large structural parts, it's great. You don't have to manually scale, check the edges, and recenter over and over again. You can just click and you're at the limit of your printing volume. So I do recommend it a lot. Now we're moving into the experimental tools in the developer mode. First up, consistent surface. This tool prioritizes surface finish by reducing speed in the infill first and only adjusting the outer wall speed if it is as absolutely has to. This is a really nice feature. The goal is to reduce visual bending and variations on the surface of the print due to the printing cooling phase. This is specifically great for PLA silk and other shiny filaments where speed changes are very obvious. In my test, the results varied depending on the model. I didn't see a massive difference on every part, so definitely test this one before you commit to a long production print. Also in the developer mode, we have short travel acceleration. This limits how fast the printer accelerates doing tiny movements on the outer wall. Those fast, jerky, short moves are a major cause of VFA, vertical fine artifacts, and micro vibrations that leave weird marks on your print. The default is set to 250 millimeters a second squared, but you can tweak and test it. It's a subtle fix, but if you're chasing that perfect surface quality, you're going to love having this control. And here are some extra features worth mentioning. So first off, new to the lattice infill, it's perfect for lightweight structures like internal wings by using to support. So abort, load and unload. This is really nice. I have suffered with this many times, starting at a filament load, realizing it's the wrong one and having to turn off the printer just to stop it. Now there is a proper cancel button. This is really nice. I'm excited for that. And Ctrl L support. This is a really nice Ctrl L shortcut. This toggles the overhang view and it's the fastest way to preview trouble spots before you hit the slice button. But remember, the highlighted angle depends on your specific settings. So it's just gonna show, but make sure that your settings are right. Improved auto arrange. This is used to be a mess, but new algorithm actually arranges parts in a clean, organized, and space-efficient way. So it's going to sort much better all of the parts than it used to, because I did not like too much the algorithm. And in my opinion, these are the updates that actually matter in Bambu Studio 2.5. It feels less like a minor patch and more like the slicer is getting a lot smarter. Now I want to hear from you. Have you already hit that update button? I have. And are you going to dive into these experimental mods? I do recommend checking them out with caution. And if you like this deep dive format, leave a comment below. Every time a new update drops, I will bring you only what's actually worth your time. Until next time, and bye-bye.